Hi, my name is Ruby Mancera, and I will be presenting my speech on the course concept of developing a factual argument and how it's meaningful to me for English 1113. Have you ever been in an argument where you knew they were completely wrong and you were right? Because I know I have. My younger sister and I have constantly bickered over small things like wearing each other's clothes or who used the last of the shampoo or whose day it is to do the chores. However, sometimes in my life I found myself in arguments that have gotten serious and needed a careful deliberation. For instances like these, many times they require compelling facts and evidence in order to make sure that the truth can be revealed and thus the problem can be solved. Sometimes the problem at hand may not need to be heard by the Supreme Court, but still, creating solid arguments makes attaining a solution easier than not. In order to solve a problem by utilizing factual arguments, there are 3 key points that we must understand. First, all factual evidence start with a hypothesis. Secondly, we must refine our claim so that our argument is concise. And lastly, we should use credible evidence to prove all claims. And yes, it may be true that evidence is not always necessary to win an argument. However, if you watch true crime shows as I do, and as my mom does, you know that when suspects are taken to trial, the evidence is very hard to invalidate. Contradicting evidence is something that not even the best lawyer could do easily. And when I say credible evidence, I mean first-hand experiences such as emails, text messages, receipts, etc. It doesn't have to be tangible evidence, but when we try to explain our argument through second-hand accounts, we often lose credibility. So when making a factual argument, try to avoid he said, she said evidence, because then we just get lost in all the mess. One occasion in which I had to create a factual argument was around this time of the year. I remember I had ordered an article of clothing from a website as a Christmas present for my sister. I remember she had asked me for it months in advance, so I began saving for it because it was quite pricey. It was around mid-December when I received the package through the mail. The shipping had taken way longer than I had expected, but nonetheless, I was glad to have her present out of the way. When I began wrapping her present, however, I realized that the print on the front of the sweatshirt was kind of crooked and the quality was not nice at all. It was not what was advertised, so I felt a little ripped off. I created my hypothesis by rationalizing that the printing machine had made a mistake, and obviously no one was at fault for that, but it was kind of late into the month, so I figured I couldn't get a new one by the time Christmas came around, and that upset me just a little bit, but I continued to try and understand that the misprint was out of their hands. I still made a claim to the company. I wrote to them that I was dissatisfied with the production quality of the item I had ordered. However, I made sure to use proper syntax so that my email didn't come off as impolite, because that wouldn't benefit me or the company. It wouldn't help any of us, really. So to solidify my claim, I sent them a picture of the item I received and what was advertised so that I can compare the two and show them why I was dissatisfied with my purchase. After a few back and forth emails, the company offered me 2 choices: either a new sweatshirt completely free or full reimbursement. And I know it's a whole year later, but I hope she still wants that sweatshirt because I got a new one for her and it has been wrapped in my closet for about a year now, and it's just collecting dust. So I'd like to conclude by saying that the concept of creating factual arguments is important to me because it has helped me solve problems in more efficient and courteous ways rather than physical, verbal arguments like bad-mouthing. So maybe next time that you find yourself in a predicament like mine, you can recall these 3 key points to creating a factual argument. Thank you for your time.